Welcome to the Live with Aaron and Kelly show. And if you're watching on our Ustream channel or watching us on TV, then you will see with me Brian T. and Mirelly Taylor.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon.
Thank you for coming on. I know
Thank
you guys
you.
are like so sweet. Thank you for coming
you
all
kidding?
the way to San Bernardino.
Really? Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we have normally Kelly, and people are probably wondering where Kelly is at.
I know. We miss you, Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly is at an audition. You guys know what that's like.
Totally. Fantastic.
They call you anytime, right?
Break a leg.
How much time do they give you for an audition typically?
A day.
Usually maybe the day before, maybe a couple days, depending on. But
A day.
And that's what people
Memorize
don't realize.
10 pages
in a day.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, go. And they get off. Oh, you get off script so that you could really do it well, right? Or do you do it on script?
It depends on who you are. Depends on who you are. Brian's a stickler.
yeah, I try to be as off book
as you can.
As I can. I'm just better. I just work better that way. When I'm down into my script, it kind of like takes me off track.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Off book means like he's fully memorized off the script.
That's great, again, to do last minute. So call, if you have any questions, you can call us live, 909-888-5222. Again, 909-888-5222. And, we always do the morning news of the week. So we've got some interesting news in Hollywood.
Fantastic. I'm a news junkie.
Let's share it. And we will be also with the Cyber Guy at 11:30. 11:30 we'll have the Cyber Guy because we had this week E3. You know what E3 is?
Heard of it.
You briefed us
but
on
yes,
it.
you briefed.
Everything electronics. You kind of have to be in the media or a blogger or someone or in the industry. And we were there with Activision Call of Duty.
Nice.
Oh, I've heard of that. It's a little video game, right?
Yes, a little popular.
Yeah, I haven't played it actually, but and then Nintendo, they have all the cool games, all the new gadgets.
Yeah.
So it's
there's
all
a
right
new
there.
game that I must plug called Sleeping Dogs, which has the voice of a lot of friends of mine, like Ron Yuan, Ian Anthony Dale, William Lee.
What kind of game? Do you know which game it is or which platform?
I do not.
Look it up. Sleeping
look it
Dogs.
up. Sleeping
That was
Dogs.
a great plug, though.
Sleeping Dogs.
I mean, it's got an amazing trailer. I know it's a shoot 'em up fighting game.
Even
Yes.
better.
Yes.
As long as
Definitely.
it's
Coming
shooting up-
soon.
Coming soon to a game console near you.
That's right.
Okay, so we have. Did you guys see the Tupac Shakur 3D?
I did. I was so excited.
Not live. I wish
at
we could have
Coachella, right?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Who would you resurrect as a 3D image?
Oh my goodness.
Well,
John Lennon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's actually a really good one. I like
Wow.
that. Yeah.
I was going to go all East Coast, West Coast, and I was like Biggie Smalls.
Oh.
And then have Tupac there, too, and they could, battle.
Okay, that
without
would work.
the guns.
That would work. Well, Elvis.
That would be a good one.
Choice.
Nice.
Right.
But how did
Elvis.
they do it? Can you tell us a little bit
All
about
that
what
I
they
can-
did?
Well, what I can say is Digital Domain Media Group, which is responsible for this, they announced Wednesday that it is creating a Presley hologram for shows, film, TV, and other projects worldwide. So they've gotten the okay from Elvis Presley Enterprises. And
Wow.
evidently they're ready to go. I don't know, though, that I would go to a concert with a hologram Elvis.
From what I hear, the people went crazy. They thought it was real, that they really thought that Tupac really walked out on stage.
Right.
And he did a whole concert, and nobody knew that it was a hologram until way after.
Yeah, we'll see, and that was because nobody knew it was going to even be on. But
Right.
now you know it's going to
Totally.
be on. So I don't know, but that'll be cool to actually see coming up into the future, right?
Yeah.
And now check this out. RoboCop. Did you guys see the original RoboCop?
We
Saw the
did. That was
original.
cool.
Well, RoboCop, Samuel L. Jackson has joined the cast along with Gary Oldman. So they've got some heavy hitters on this one.
Too.
Very
I
nice.
can't
yeah.
wait to see
I'm a
that.
Sam Jackson fan.
Are you?
Yes.
That guy is amazing.
The guy's in everything.
Right?
The
I know.
Avengers.
He's amazing.
I know. He's like, put me in Star Wars, and he put him in Star Wars. That's
Would
the
be in
best.
the Avengers.
I know. The Avengers?
The Avengers, I did see the Avengers. The Hulk was my favorite,
Oh,
Right,
totally.
Me too.
especially when he
Stole the scene.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna
funny.
give that
Absolutely.
away, but
Yeah. What Aaron's doing right now.
I like when he punches.
Pretty close to it.
yeah, the punch, Kelly, that was favorite.
That was my
Kelly's
favorite.
favorite. Yeah. Now this is interesting in business news. We have LinkedIn.
Yes.
Okay, see, now this is a website that everybody is a member of, but nobody that I know knows how to use it. And I'm not kidding. I ask my friends, I'm like, so what do?
So-
You
so
just
you're-
accept people, and that's pretty much it.
Are they all actors or just all kinds of different?
business
okay.
friends, and they're like, well, it's a place where you can go and connect with people. And I'm like, okay, but how? Like, how do you use it?
You can actually, like, you can see who are, Facebook, you can see their friends if they allow you to. Well, you can get an introduction. You can get a personal introduction. The one thing that I really like is you can also get a recommendation.
Yeah, I've gotten those, but who sees them?
Other people that want to see your recommendations. It's almost like your online business resume. And many have used it. But this is why it's actually in the news. It was hacked into.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so passwords, about 6.5 million encrypted LinkedIn passwords were hacked into and taken. Now, how can you find out if you were a victim? Like myself, I went into this site and I was a victim. I had a really cool password, too.
Well, what happened to your LinkedIn? Like, they changed your recommendations?
No. Actually, LinkedIn didn't even notify me. So you really need to go to this site. It's a different site. They do everything passwords. They kind of manage passwords, and somehow they have, I don't know how they have a list, but I think it was posted online, all the passwords. So if you want to see if you were hacked, go to lastpass.com/LinkedIn. Okay.
What happened to your LinkedIn?
Well, I had to change the password. Nothing happened, but maybe something could happen later on with that password if I kept it. So,
and how did you find out if you were hacked?
I went to this site, lastpass.com/LinkedIn. I typed in my. They ask only for your password, and they say if that was one on the list, and it was. So I was kind of upset about that. We do have Kelly. This is interesting. We do everything live on this show, and we have Kelly Dolan. She wanted to not miss you guys, even though she is on audition. Kelly,
here.
are you there?
Hey, Kelly.
I am so mad that I cannot be there right now.
We miss you.
Oh, you guys are going to have to come back. You have to come back for another show.
We will.
That's how we bring you back. We just leave. We go, no, just you leave, and then they want to come back.
So we'll come
Maybe
to
Aaron
your
will be
house.
here the next time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we'll come back again for all of us.
We need to invest in like a helicopter, Aaron, so that we can just get to place to place within a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
fly
can
you in. Okay, why not?
Right.
Yeah, let's bring in Kelly.
Or invest in that hologram thing.
Oh, why not?
And then just have the hologram here.
Then I don't ever have to speak to Kelly. I'll voice whatever Kelly's going to say now.
That's hilarious. Oh, did you guys get started with the interviews? Where are we at in the show?
Oh, literally the news, the first segment. Yeah, no, but what we were talking about was, the LinkedIn, the hacking, and we also talked about the hologram. But Kelly, you are at an audition right now, right?
Yeah.
Have you gone in?
I just went in. I just got done with it, and I feel like I'm like high, as you guys would know when you go in and you just like do a great job. The casting director was like, "Now that's an audition." Like,
wow.
Yeah, and it was just for a commercial. But what they had us do was they had us do it a couple of different ways, the dialogue, and then they made us dance. It's kind of for a furniture product, and so they made us dance, and I don't know. When you just feel like you nailed something, like so you guys know that.
You brought
Absolutely.
it. You brought it. You brought your moves.
Yeah, and then there's sometimes where you go into an audition room and you're like, oh, God, what did I just do?
Yeah, that's
You ever had
such a
those
great.
moments,
Oh
Brian?
yeah, you have both. It's such a great feeling to walk out and just feel like you crushed it, though.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
And then there's the other times where you just walk out and you're like spend like days just thinking about what just happened.
That's got to be the worst. Yeah, you got to really. In fact, do you guys even ask each other like, "Hey, how did that audition go?"
Totally.
Immediately after.
Totally.
You do?
Absolutely.
And we
Okay.
could sense each other too, like what happened.
We have a rule. Whoever just auditioned is not allowed to drive right after the audition.
Oh, that makes
Yes.
sense.
Do you have that rule, Kelly? Like, if you go with somebody, like, if you probably should just sit around for about 10, 15 minutes, mulling it over, because you really are not in your body.
Yeah, if I'm lucky enough to have somebody with me, I try to like not think about it afterwards. Unless I destroyed it, then I'm like I want to ride the high.
Right.
But sometimes I'm just like after because there's so many variables when you're auditioning. Sometimes they don't know what race they want to go with. They don't even know if they want to know what sex. Sometimes when it comes to the commercials, and so I just feel like sometimes afterwards I just don't even want to like think about it. I just want to say, okay, thank God I got through it. I did the best I could, and just kind of like forget about it for a second. You know what I mean?
Right, totally. I mean, for me, if only it were that easy. If only I could just be like, okay, done, walking away. But it's just like, it like grows, because in certain characters and stuff, it kind of grows and lives with you for a little while that for me, it's just harder to step away from. And you just like kind of live and breathe and have to have this kind of downtime. That's why we can't drive, because literally we'll get in the car right after and just like be completely in our heads and be like, oh, I should have gone east instead of west.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just go north or south. I'm either. But yeah, and I mean that's got to be hard. What I admire, especially about actors, is the ability to take that rejection all the time. And of course, when you have those ones that you nail. But that makes it all worth it. But I say that because of the economy as it is right now. People are getting rejected. People are getting down. They're saying, "I'm like," they spend a whole day looking for a job, and then they go in the interview. They go through 5 interviews, and they don't get it. Well, welcome to the world of entertainment. You know, it's the same thing.
Completely.
Yeah, pretty much. If you could go on a job interview every day and then not know whether they liked you, whether you know.
Yeah, because you don't always get feedback.
Never.
They say they
do
love you,
feedback.
and then they talk about it and say, "Oh, I hated that."
Oh, in the room, they're like, "Oh, that was fantastic." No, I mean, but Kelly, you were fantastic today.
Yeah. Oh God, now I need somebody to drive me. No, just kidding.
No, as long as you feel like you kind of owned it yourself
all
and
about
feel
you.
like you rocked it walking out, that's all you can really ask for. Then you just kind of leave it up to the casting guides and all this other stuff.
Because would you guys agree, like sometimes, especially like when you have to go in for a character that you really like and the emotional state that you have to get to can be sometimes, you know, you go from A to Z within 3 seconds and you've invested so much and you went there and then sometimes for whatever reason and when you get in the audition you didn't really go there like you know you could. And that's the hardest thing. I feel like when I walk out of that audition, like, man, I didn't show them. I gave them 90, and so so sometimes it is hard. Those are the moments that are hard, I think, is when you felt like you held back or you didn't get to that place that you know you could,
Well, I have to say, Kelly, I'm glad you nailed it because it was between this and that, and I know you chose that, and I wanted you to choose that because, again, you know how important it is,
the
right?
audition first.
Yeah,
Opportunity
get the audition,
first.
right?
You can come over to dinner at our place like tomorrow or something.
I know. I'm so mad that I'm not going to make it. I was so
You
torn.
can bring
I was
Aaron.
Oh, thank you.
I love it.
So Kelly, you're going to be here next week, and for those that want to check out what Kelly's always up to, go to facebook.com/Kelly V. Dolan and check her out. Kelly, thank you so very much for calling in.
Yes, and I'm going to pull to the side of the road by a Starbucks and watch the rest of the show because I don't want to miss it. So I'll be watching you guys.
Okay, thank you,
Kelly.
Okay.
Thanks, Kelly.
When we get back,
Have a good show.
we get back, we're going to have Brian T. and Mirelly Taylor talk about their careers in the entertainment world. You will not want to go away. Stay right here. We'll be right back. If you're just tuning in, you're here with the Live with Aaron and Kelly show. Unfortunately, Kelly couldn't make it with us today because she's at an audition. She just nailed it, though, so that's always
crushed
good.
it.
Yeah, crushed it. And we're here with Brian T. and Mirelly Taylor. Now, before we actually talk to you guys, we had a caller call in on our LinkedIn segment that we were talking about, and we have on the line, is this...
It's Joe Martinico.
Hi, Joe. Welcome to the show. What's your question?
Well, actually, I was watching you online, and I saw you talk. I saw Mirelly talking about LinkedIn, so I wanted to just call in because I think it's a great tool, and I just thought.
So you use it?
Tell me why, Joe.
Well, I'll just tell you a couple of things. Like I was doing a little research watching, and they've got groups on there of acting and casting directors. They have entertainment industry groups, and basically, it's just a way for you to use that 6 degrees of separation where you can connect with people that you might want to connect with.
So instead of networking, like going to a party and hobnobbing at a party, you can just jump on your LinkedIn and find out who you're connected to and like say hello in an email?
Well, just to give you one example, I have, I do business on sort of just say a global scale because of the way my business is. It's just people live far from each other. And what you can do is you can connect with friends of other people.
But I think you either have to pay for that service where you can connect to them easily, or you have to get an introduction, right? What they call a LinkedIn introduction.
I'll tell you you don't have to pay for it. I've got well over 500 connections, people who I've actually met or know, because I don't connect with people I don't know or that I haven't met. And what happens is, to give you an example, one of my business associates said, "Hey, Joe, one of your friends knows this guy that I want to know." And so he writes to you, I write to my friend, and ask my friend to write to his friend. And
Gotcha.
that, we connect people like that all the time.
I do like that because, unfortunately, like Facebook, you get all kinds of people that add you. And then you get all kinds of messages from people you have no idea. And then they say that they know somebody, but they don't really. They met them online. People always say, "Oh, I know Aaron," and people say, and they go, "Well, they said they knew you," and I'm like, I know them from their avatar on Facebook, but that's it. So thank you for bringing that up, Joe. And
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that.
Thanks for watching.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you,
Enjoyed
Joe.
The show.
Thanks, Joe.
So that's Joe, one of our listeners.
Nice.
But okay, for those that don't know, Brian T., you have done a slew of projects on both film, television. One of the most notably known, Fast and Furious Tokyo
Drift. Yes, absolutely. I played the villain DK as some may know.
But you also were in Austin Powers.
I was in Austin Powers.
I was like,
one of my favorite scenes ever.
Gold member.
Absolutely, Austin Powers gold member.
And so you've been around doing this, Mirelly. Now, here's the thing with them two. Before I go into your career, if you see them together, yes, they are an item. You're engaged.
Yes, absolutely.
Congratulations, by the way.
The longest engagement.
But I will say this. There's a YouTube video, interview of Brian, and Brian says, and he confused me because he says, it's the great thing about going with my wife is I'm already there. They can hire both of us. And I'm like, wow, he's already saying my wife?
Totally.
When did they get married? And then he's like, oh no, it's just so natural for him to say that.
I mean, we've been together for a while and engaged for a while, and it's just kind of like the next thing, so I'm kind of just used to calling her my wife. And
we live together and we act like husband and wife. I'm going to be with him for the rest of my life, so he is my husband.
Yes, we're going to see about that in our last segment, which is going to be our last segment. The game, the newly going to get marriage, if you should get married or not. Game. Yes.
Nice.
It sounded better when I said it earlier. But, and Mirelly, I mean, you've been in Lost. You've been in a couple new movies. You guys were in a movie, Roswell FM, which is going to come out soon. It's
in post right now.
Yes.
It's a funny, very, very funny. It's sort of like if you like Napoleon Dynamite meets Garden State.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's very,
right.
very. It's got a lot of heart, but it's
that.
very funny, and the characters are out of this world. And Brian.
What is up with Brian's character? Because all I saw was the picture of him in white talking on a microphone. By the way, it takes place on it looks like you're on the radio show.
Yeah, it
right?
actually takes place in a radio station. There's this kind of a romantic love story through this comedy with Mirelly's character and our lead, Brendan Fair, and I play actually just this kind of out there caller that actually comes in to apply for a radio job and gets hired.
Oh god.
But he's also stalking one of the other radio guys. It's really hilarious.
But I feel like because it's about the paranormal, I feel like I'm the one character or the one guy that actually does connect to the paranormal.
That makes sense.
So it's that kind of character, and it was fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's great. Now, did you have to look for inspiration for that character, or did it just come from within?
Well, both in a sense of when you're creating a character, and I consider myself like a character actor in a sense, and I think those are the funnest. You kind of start from the ground up and outside in, and kind of play with voices and play with all kinds of things and see kind of what fits and do your research.
You've never seen Brian T. like this. I was blown away. It was unbelievable. He's hilarious. He plays the nerdiest, paranormal believing stalker who's in love with Jason London's character, who's also hilarious in the movie. It's going to be a lot of fun. Roswell FM. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait. I mean, you guys took a picture. It looked like the crew here. I mean, I was like, dude, did you guys go to a radio station to get this inspiration?
We actually did shoot it in a radio station out in Roswell.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We were in Roswell, hot Roswell, for about a month. And the director actually wanted me to tell you that they're hopefully going to be done with the film by September so they can, submit it to Sundance.
Awesome.
And they're going to, they've got a lot of they have to do the film festival route.
There's
it's an indie film.
Okay. Well, from what I understand, the director also is kind of he's an award-winning.
He did from student.
From student, right?
Yeah. I think it was like the equivalent to a student Emmy.
Yes.
Yeah. No, he's a pretty remarkable guy. His name is Stephen Griffin. So
awesome.
We're going to see a lot of great stuff from him.
Great job, Stephen, for casting these two. Now, did he cast one of you, and one of you brought in the other, or?
I had to audition, and then I had a call back, and then luckily they picked me, and then I was the first cast member of all of the leads. They were still trying to land their main guy, and so they needed a name for the main guy, and they were playing things around. They were, shuffling things around. Somewhere through there, they found out that I was engaged to Brian T, and they went nuts. And they called him, and they said, will you just pick a character, just read the script and whatever you want. Just they're like in love with Brian.
Dude,
yeah.
So you scored.
No,
it was audition.
I know, right? It was totally because
you
of
nailed
Mirelly.
It, obviously.
I know, it was totally because of Mirelly. Absolutely.
No
I was just kind of
way.
sat there on the
His body of
sidelines
work,
and
obviously, yeah, you built up a great body of work. You both are. I mean,
I'm still working really hard,
No,
but I learned from
amazing.
Brian a lot. Starting from one of your first roles was opposite Mel Gibson, and We Were Soldiers.
I guess one of my first features was We Were Soldiers, which is just kind of an honor and a blessing to kind of be a part of, because it's kind of based on true live events. On the book, We Were Soldiers, it was one of those experiences that you just, as a young actor, you just can't believe you're on the set with like Mel Gibson, Barry Pepper. It's just pretty amazing.
And you're still
and
getting
phenomenal.
mail about that just recently.
I just got an email. I played Jimmy Nakayama, who was a real soldier in the Vietnam War. And if any of you have ever seen it or go out and rent it, the scene that I have is, I guess I don't want to ruin it, but it's a real scene that really happened to a real person.
Okay. A real Japanese.
Yes, and one of his friends actually emailed my manager to tell me that, I represented, appreciated, and really sent his sentiments to me, which is really heartwarming.
Well, that's the great thing about projects like that, because people they don't recognize you at the moment. Like they go, oh wait, I know Brian T. Like they know you later, and then they see you and they look at it like, I didn't know you were in We Were Soldiers.
Right.
I probably don't even remember the character, but if I saw it again, I'd be like, oh, there you go, and that was great. With Netflix, you can go rent that right now or anywhere in your local DVD, or if they still have video cassette place, they go get it. But I mean, now. Fast forwarding to now.
Well, Brian's working on Grimm right now.
Yeah, Grimm.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, I can't look at you the same now. I'm like, you've got that face going on. I'm like, dude, that guy can kill me like right now. What was up with that?
No, Grimm is just another, really fun, amazing television show experience. It's, Grimm's on NBC, is one of the hot shows on their network right now, and it's good to be bad. I get to play this kind of
that's what I hear. I hear that's
bad
like the
guy.
Best thing. Have you ever played a villain?
It's fun.
I have never played a villain. I'm usually the victim. I'm getting maimed or raped or kidnapped. Or I always die. Or in Lost, I came back as a ghost twice, and so.
Well, that's the great thing about ghosts, so you can keep coming back.
Right. But recently, Mirelly's been kind of taking the whole romantic comedy lead to another level as far as her last two movies have gone, which is Roswell FM and then Elfman. Just kind of the changing. I feel the vision and the talent of what a female lead should kind of be. Usually, I mean, it's blonde hair, blue eyes. Kind of a
Kelly B. Dolan.
No. but like these new movies and these new casting directors and these new filmmakers kind of think outside the box, when they see true talent like Mirelly has, they're like, well, it's kind of an obvious choice.
Well, to the listeners, Elfman is another indie film that I just finished, and it stars Jason Weeman Acuna from all the Jackass movies.
Everybody knows Jackass, yeah.
And Mackenzie Aston. The thing is that they wouldn't see me for the audition. So I couldn't audition for it because what they were looking for and what usually most films are looking for, and this is what I run up against a lot, and so does Brian, is that they're usually looking for the Caucasian lead because that's what we've been conditioned for. And I love all of my Caucasian friend actors, and they're all wonderful. I love you, Kelly. But I never get a chance to play any of those roles. And so my agent sent them all of their beautiful, wonderful actresses, some of the funniest that I know, that are way funnier than me. But they, for some reason, weren't working. And so she said, well, I have this other actress. And she didn't say that I was Hispanic. What she said was, she's more of exotic type and she's a brunette. I know that you want a blonde. She put herself on tape.
Oh, good.
And so they allowed me to put myself on tape. And the director still didn't know that I was Hispanic when he cast me. And not way into shooting the film, because I'm one of the light-skinned Hispanics, he was like, wait, you're Mexican? And I was like, well, yeah. And he was like,
it's
wow.
funny the perception of what Mexican is, because you're from what part of Mexico?
Born in Guadalajara, which I hear your ancestors are from as well, and then my father's from Panama, but he's Dominican, Italian, and Panamanian. And so my mom is Mexican, Spanish, and my dad is Panamanian. Yeah, so I'm a little Latin.
But that's the thing. I mean, and you too. You're a mix of right?
Yeah, a mix of Asian, half Japanese and half Korean.
Right. So sometimes they say, well, you're not Japanese or you're not Korean. I mean, how do you? But
yeah, I mean,
role is
we come across that all the time as far as Asian actors are concerned, and I think if the best actor can play the role, that they should get the part.
Yeah.
And if it can only be that easy.
Right. Now I get it. Like if you make it very specific, but sometimes the character doesn't call for a specific type. You don't have to do
completely.
Right. Or sometimes I'm not Latina enough, even though I was born there. And
so do you have to learn all the accents to get?
Well, you had
Latina?
Yvette Yates, just recently on your show, and she's a gorgeous. But when you look at her, she is Latina. She has the indigenous face, the gorgeous features. I could be Middle Eastern. I could be.
Yeah, you can be.
Italian, I could be.
Yeah, you can rock that.
There's a little mixture of something in there, and you don't know what it is. And so, because you can't pinpoint it, regardless of what I am, if I don't fit the idea of what it's supposed to be, then they won't go there. They're too scared. The money people.
My last name used to be because of my stepdad, Forrest. So I was Aaron Forrest. So no one knew what I was.
Really?
Yeah, they thought I was all kinds of different things.
Yeah, and you're very light skinned too.
Right. So then when I said, well, it's Sanchez, they're like, what? So. And sometimes I kind of battle. Do I go to Forrest or do I go with Sanchez?
Right.
Forrest is my legal name, but it was my stage name in school, so why not?
Why not?
I'm really grateful to Ethan Wiley, who was the director or is the director of Elfman, that's being edited right now. And
thank you for thinking outside the box.
Thank you for thinking outside the box and for casting somebody for their talent and not for any other reason. And he's actually a really prolific man. He has a wonderful resume.
Yes.
I mean, he worked on Gremlins. He was the director. He wrote House, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
I almost thought it was the TV show, but
no.
okay. I'll say that it's gone now.
No. So he's a great, really happy and really funny guy.
It looked like a fun crew. And again,
awesome.
if you guys want to get either one of their information, you can go to Twitter. You have a Twitter. What is it? Twitter.com/
Mirelly Taylor.
Or
Brian _T TEE.
Somebody else took Brian T.
And if you look up Brian T on YouTube, you will see Brian teeing off on a golf course. That's not Brian T. But when we come back, we're going to talk to the Latino cyber guy. He's there at E3 talking about all the new games, get a little bit of insight. So don't go away. We'll come right back. And then in our last segment, we're going to have our little newlywed game, see if these two should get married.
Woo!
We'll be right back.